Supreme Week 13, the partial drop list. Guys, this is everything you need to know about what's coming out from Supreme this week, some retail estimations, my resale predictions, and more. Let's get into the video. Oh yes, new transitions. We are leveling up our game here on the SupThomas YouTube channel. And be sure, guys, to be subscribed and like the video to stay up to date on all Supreme news, information, drop lists, and the occasional sneaker review. So here is the partial drop list curated by our friend Supreme Drops. We got some crazy stuff happening this week. The fuck 'em sign, which he says 2,500. If we go on the website here for Supreme Community, it says it is 9,000 plus, but it's safe to say this thing is going to be a lot of money. We also have some Doc Martens to talk about that are releasing as kind of their seasonal sneaker collab with the Doc Martens, or I guess boot collab, the Creepers. I've never been a massive Doc Martens guy, and I probably never will, but we're going to talk about them, and that is the full drop list right there. But let's take first a look at the Doc Martens collaboration. Okay, Supreme has worked with Doc Martens on a new version of the Ramsey Creeper. That is this shoe right here, which features suede metallic leather upper with air wear, cushioned sole, piping at toe panel, printed logos on insole, and debossed logo at heel. Made exclusively for Supreme, the Ramsey Creeper will be offered in 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 colorways. Available November 16th, that is this Thursday, and in Japan and Seoul November 18th. Looking at the pictures, they are Doc Martens, and they are suede for the blacks and the purples, and then metallic leather for the silver ones. I think the silver ones are pretty crazy looking, very space agey, futuristic. If I had to pick one, it might be these, or if I wanted to go more low key, then you'd go with the suede purples or the suede blacks. I can't really give a good prediction on these. We'd have to go check the Doc Martens from previous seasons and look at where they are right now in terms of resale, just to get a picture for what these things are doing, because I have no idea what the Doc Martens sneaker market is looking like these days. I do know that people like them. So what are your thoughts on the Doc Martens Supreme collaboration for fall winter 23? Again, they've just never really been my style, so I'm not gonna go for them, but they are a kind of timeless classic boot sneaker hybrid. These are really like the El Camino of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? It's like half of a truck, half of a car, half a shoe, half a boot. Hope you guys are following along, because we're moving at a crazy pace today. Let's get into the Supreme Community drop list. Okay, back on Supreme Community, we're gonna move this over here so we can get a nice look at every single item for the drop list. Big logo jacquard hooded sweater is first. Boy, oh boy, that is pretty clean. I think this is one of the better pieces of the year. Big overprint on the back with the Supreme logo, numerous different colors to suit your fancy. I'm a fan of the all purple or maybe the all black. Give that an upvote. Projected retail is $178. Polartec face mask half zip hooded sweatshirt is the next item on the list, with the Polartec 200 count fleece. This is projected to be about $148. I think this is probably higher. I'm gonna guess $168 to maybe as high as $200. I think $158 would be a great price, but Supreme has been kind of all over the place with pricing this season. But overall, like, I really like this zip up. It's kind of a quarter zip, bunch of nice colors. We got a miniature box logo right there, Polartec on the sleeve. I think this is my favorite one, this little camo that we've seen on a few different pieces throughout the season, but people might be feeling more of the solid pieces. I feel like that kind of happens where during the season, the camo or the colored one doesn't sell out, but then later down the road, let's say 2 years from now, 3 years, people start coveting that interesting looking pattern because it differentiates itself from the other pieces that are just kind of a solid color. But if you definitely need winter clothing, you need to stay warm and you haven't already stocked up on anything, I think this is a great piece for staying warm. I mean, it's got the face mask, so it's kind of a hoodie and balaclava hat all in one. I think this is a great piece for layering, skiing, or just rocking around town. All right, the fuck 'em neon sign. This is really tough to say. If you have the money, go for it. Like, it's gonna be thousands of dollars. It's gonna be an instant sellout because in reality, they're making like under 100 of these. Maybe. I'd really be curious to see how many actually get produced. I know of like the Supreme Airstream trailer that came out, I think 2 seasons ago, that for 98,000. I think they only made 10. This is handmade by GLO. No clue who they are. It's aluminum frame with glass neon tubing, 41 inches by 41 inches. A really, really sick sign. I've never been a huge fan of the fuck 'em, but I know people do love. That is like Supreme's kind of catchy motto. It has been for a long time. And it does use the same Futara heavy italicized font, which I love. So it looks really cool. It's got the exclamation mark. It's got the Supreme red and white with the neon coloring, but that's just an insane piece that if you can even afford it, go for it because you're not going to lose any money. It's going to be extremely collectible for a long time, but could also be entirely wrong. They could make 1,000 of them and not sell out. We really can't say, but I think this thing is going to fly for the people that have the money and that want that for their resale store, their man cave, their Supreme collection room, whatever. I think this is a pretty sick piece. I, of course, do not have 9,000 to spend on it, so I will be passing. Hand-tied beanie is next. I am not a fan of this really at all. I just don't like the crochet look to it. Maybe the black one is all right, but this one is not great at all, so I'm giving that a strong down vote. If you like it, go for it. Projected retail is 48 bucks. I think these upcoming beanies and balaclavas are much better headwear choices. Speaking of better headwear choices, we have the Balaclava Polartec Zip. Really, really solid piece. If you don't want to get the actual full hooded sweatshirt, just get the mask. It's got Supreme on top. I think this thing is going to fly. Honestly, the balaclavas have all been selling out relatively strongly for this season, and I think this one will be no different. The fleece is certainly like maximum levels of warmth, so in terms of actually being a utility item for keeping you warm, something that'll actually be useful, you really can't go wrong with some nice Polartec fleece. Paisley studded work jacket is next. This guy is a little more expensive at about $268. It would be nice to see this guy at a little bit cheaper, but I can see why. Kind of like a Carhartt ripoff by Supreme, which I think is pretty sick. I actually do really like the Paisley studdeds on here. I think a few years ago, I would have not been a fan of this, but now I could see myself actually rocking something like this. Certainly in a colder environment. Got the Old English screen print on the back, the brown and the black. Which one is gonna go first? I'm placing my bets on brown. I just think that brown has been a really hot color this season in particular. The all cotton canvas, metal studs, 3M Thinsulate, quilted cotton lining. Yeah, it looks super warm. I think this potentially could sell out. We will see though when the items actually drop on Thursday. All right, Polartec zip jacket. It's really a fleece themed week, guys. If you wanted fleece, boy oh boy, do we have you covered this week. Supreme with the zip jacket. This one really isn't doing it for me. Sans maybe the black one with the red Supreme. That one's kind of clean, but actually, you know what? This one is okay. This one is okay too. Kind of reminds me of like the Whalers, that old hockey team. God, I think the Connecticut Whalers or something. That's kind of an interesting colorway, but this one is just not it for me. Maybe other people will like it, but I don't think the khaki with the dark brown and gold looks very good together. Could just be a personal preference thing. And the projected retail on that guy is $148, which hopefully it stays that cheap. Supreme Shot shearling bomber jacket. Yep. The big money leather bomber jacket with, or it's actually sheepskin suede, sorry, with the shearling lining. This thing is crazy cool. The red one is so fucking hard. This one too looks kind of like a pilot's jacket, but this red one is absolutely cold. I think the red one is gonna for sure sell out. This is so like vintage Supreme rapper attire. Honestly, the black looks really good too. Maybe someday I'd be able to cop something like this, certainly secondhand, because I feel like even if I had that kind of money, buying something at that price for retail is pretty expensive and pretty crazy. But honestly, if you can afford it, go for it. I'd really love to see one of my subscribers pick up the red and black shearling sheepskin shot bomber jacket. Super, super sick. Absolutely love this piece. We're gonna give that an upvote. What are you guys feeling so far? Again, let me know in the comments if you're copping this paisley studded double knee painter's pant or any other piece this week. The matching pants to go with the work jacket. Kind of a shame they didn't give us a denim, like a blue denim work jacket to go along with the pants. But the double knee painter pants, these are actually really sick, and I think I'm finally understanding the double knees. It does look pretty cool. I've been kind of memeing on these pants for a long time. You get your hammer right there and the little hammer loop on the side. These are pretty sick, and I actually might even like these more than the jacket. And I really do need to pick up my pants game. Probably won't be copping these at $198. So yeah, overall, really sick double knee painter pants to match the work jacket. I think these will do pretty well. I think maybe still the brown one will be the one to go for, or perhaps the regular blue denim, but I'm predicting for once the black one will be the last one to sell out. Let's see if it happens on the live here on Thursday, 30 minutes before the drop and during the drop. Be sure to tune in. Another small box long sleeve tee on offer this week. We got the crazy leopard and then just the classic solid colors. For ones, I'm not going to recommend going for the leopard. I think this one is just, it's a little too much for me even. I think probably the best one is anyone that has the red box logo, I think is clean. The gray one, obviously. The dark tan one looks pretty good. Same with the olive, and then the white with the red box logo. I guess that one's okay. I'm not really the biggest fan of white long sleeve t-shirts. I think probably out of all of these, I could see the blue one maybe being the one people go for. Certainly is a cheaper piece at 78 bucks. I think we will see more people gravitating toward that piece that want to save for box logos, etc., later on in the season. And the Doc Martens, again, we're not going to go through these because we looked on the official website, but we will just look at this overall preview picture right there. These are projected to be about 200 bucks, so get them if you like them. Again, I have really no idea about resale, but if you want to do your own research, I would go on StockX or eBay, look up previous Doc Martens from Supreme and kind of track their market price post-release and see what they have done on the aftermarket. Leopard corduroy camp cap, kind of a sleeper hat this week. I think some of these could definitely sell out. It is nice to see a solid camp cap with a low-key pattern. It's not super in your face, but it does have that unique leopard welcome to the jungle type vibe to it. Super sick. I actually do like this hat quite a bit. I don't think enough to actually purchase one of these hats, but I could see people digging these. In terms of resale, it's really tough to say. Purple might be the one that I pick. Purple is one of my favorite colors. If it's not purple, then perhaps the red or the blue. I don't think tan or black will do as well, but again, those are just complete guesses out of nowhere. Could 100% be wrong. All right, I think the biggest sleeper piece of the week is this USA zip-up hooded jacket. Kind of gives me hockey jersey vibes. It does have the CCM Supreme logo inspiration right there, the $, with the red and the blue. We typically see that logo being used on hockey-inspired merchandise from Supreme. I think this purple one, purple and this like lilac and actual royal purple is really, really sick, and white, 23. But out of all of these, probably the one to go for, I don't know, the green looks really nice. I could see the green selling. The black one is okay, but something about the color blocking, I don't know. It might not be. I think they could have scrapped the white and just gone with black, and this would have been better. I think that second strip of white right there, it's just kind of a little too much for me personally. So I think in the green one's the one to go for. This projected retail is $178, and hopefully it stays that price because that is a fair, decent price for a zip-up jacket like that. And people aren't really liking it, so we're gonna downvote it because I think that'll be a sleeper. Polartec beanie. Getting to the last of the list. Again, Supreme Fleece Season is the name of week 13. The Fleece boys are out, and they are howling at the moon to get their hands on some fleece this week. And if you're a fleece boy, then maybe you might want to get this Polartec beanie. People aren't liking it as much. I could definitely see why. There's better items to go for with the Balaclava, the zip up hoodie, or the zip up, hooded sweatshirt. But the Polartec beanie is still there. It's chilling. And the estimated price for that is 38 bucks. So cheapest item on the list so far. Fuck Intarsha short sleeve top. Yeah, this piece sucks, man. Don't buy this piece. It's gonna probably be too expensive. 68 bucks. If you like a shirt that says fuck on it a bunch of times, it's probably one of the more low-key fuck shirts, but I'm not a fan of it really at all. So I wouldn't recommend buying that for resale or for really any other reason. And then the striped flannel zip-up shirt is next, and this is a pretty ugly piece as well. Maybe if you like it, go for it, but I can't recommend this piece, and it's bottom of the list as Supreme Community, which I actually do agree with them, so we're gonna give that a down vote, maybe upvote the leather or the leopard corduroy cam cap. But that's gonna do it, folks, for the partial drop list. This is Supreme Week 13 as it stands right now. Stay tuned to my channel for the full drop list with prices once we get them. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest Supreme news. And come to my stream this Thursday where we go for maybe one of the Supreme items this week, or just look at and predict what's going to sell out first. It's been your boy Thomas, and I am out. Peace and butt grease. See ya.